expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Community Chat with Collin. I am your host, Collin Dias. Today is Wednesday, September 13th, and we have one heck of a show prepared for you guys today. I'm on my own, but I came prepared to talk about many issues that are facing our city. First off, I would just like, for those of you who do not know, I would like to give out the results of the preliminary election in the city of Fall River. This is from WSAR. Mayor Jazio Correa and City Councilor Linda Pereira have secured their spots on the November ballot, with Correa capturing 45.76% of the vote with 3,938 votes, and Linda Pereira capturing 36.87% of the vote, which is 3,173 votes in Tuesday night's preliminary election. In third place was Richard Cabaceres, who gained 13.5% with 1,165 votes, while Mr. Jordan Sylvia and Mr. Ronald Cabral finished with less than 4% combined. In the school committee race, former state rep Kevin Aguiar roared back into prominence, becoming the top vote getter of the night with 4,076 votes. Paul Coogan came into second with 3,988 votes, and Joseph Martins took third place with 3,568 votes. Coming in fourth was Mark Costa with 3,489 votes, and Joshua Hetzler coming in fifth, a new rising star in the political field with 2,728 votes. In sixth place was Thomas Corey with 2,643 votes, and in seventh place Christian Galvin with 1,974 votes. Amy Blanchette with 1,893 votes. Ninth place was 1,730 votes, and the last contender for the general election was Crystal Stone with 1,590 votes. Good job to all the candidates who made the final ballot. And there are two more people who made the ballot. Susan Dunst with 1,329 votes, and David Cohen, who came in last, who for the general election gained 1,063 votes. Sean Connell, a known progressive, secured only 1,029 votes. A total of 8,763 voters turned out for the vote. Now, there's a lot you could take from that. Honestly, I am very disappointed in the low turnout. The turnout was around 18%. Which is very, very poor. So I want to start off this episode with this. I have a challenge for all political candidates in Fall River and around the nation, and all public figures to have their main objective to get people registered to vote, because voting is very important for the preservation of our democracy. Let's just start off with the mayoral election. I would just like to say it was a hard-fought campaign, in my opinion. Mr. Cabaceres isn't on the ballot anymore. He's no longer a candidate, so I can say this. He did one heck of a great job. He ran one positive campaign. I was a part of that campaign, and I'm very proud of what he has done and what he will continue to do. He, after he conceded, made a call for positivity in this election and for the city, and it's something we deeply need. And I was moved by all the words he said after. He lost with class, and it's just a great thing. And we should all take up on his words, all the candidates running. For the school committee, it's what really I expected. What do we have here? Kevin Aguiar got first place. He's a known public figure in this city. He was a state rep who was replaced by Alan Sylvia a few years ago, but he's always stood in the public eye. And here he is back to help our school system, which needs the support. Many incumbents didn't run in this election, so we're going to have plenty of new faces on the school committee next year, with possibly our first female mayor or the incumbent. Paul Coogan, all the incumbents did pretty well. They got their name out there. This was really an election where the outsider candidate didn't do well, and that's good in some ways. In some ways, that's not. Some outsiders, but it's not entirely true. And I'm really, really happy that we're getting a lot more people who are minority to run for office in the city. I believe the city needs more of a minority representation. So I'm really happy to see Jessica Wong, Crystal Stone take place on the ballot. I know both of them. I talked to both of them. They're really, really good people, and I believe that they were elected. But I'm not going to get into that. But I'm just saying I'm really happy there's minority representation. And I'm pretty sure if or not, they're just good people. Joshua Hetzler, he's been a rising figure in the city. He did really well. He got 5th place. It's out of 6. There's 6 slots that need to be filled, and he got 5th place. He needs to stay consistent throughout the general in order for him to win. Thomas Corey is going to have to fight hard, and all these people are going to have to fight hard. It's going to be a close race, I believe, when it comes to school committee. I think, from objectively, all the incumbents are going to get back in. Kevin Aguiar is known political figures going to get back in. And I didn't vote for anyone. I can't vote yet, so I'm just giving my objective points from what I see. Mark Costa. There's going to be 6th place, 5th, 6th place is going to be really close. It's going to be really close. And let's get into the city council election coming in the general election. It's probably going to be a lot like the school committee. We're going to have some incumbents who will do well, but anything could happen. So far, we have the original 6. Richard Cabaceres won't be on there. Ray Mitchell won't be on there. Linda Pereira won't be on the city council. So there is a great chance that people like Brad Kilby can come back in. Michelle Dion, a crony of Jaziel Correa, has a great chance of placing. And there's a few. Derek Viveris is one. I see his signs everywhere. I see him everywhere. He's really getting involved. The writing candidate, Jason Springer, has a really good chance. Trottley has a really good chance. So I think all the incumbents running, with the exception of Steve Kamara, is going to have to really battle for votes for this one. Pamela Liberty LeBeau would be next. I think she's safe, but if if Steve Kamara is the first incumbent that's running, that's in jeopardy, she would be second. All the other incumbents running look good. Joe Kamara is known throughout the city. I think he's going to be okay with all the support he has throughout the years. This election, with a lot of people who vote every year, like Linda Pereira got all her supporters out there, and Jazo Correa did. I think Joe Kamara places last. Trottley, if Steve Kamara loses, I think Trottley takes over his place. And I think Pam Liberty LeBeau and Michelle Dion, they're going to be battling for a spot. Brad Kilby's going to be right in the mix, known political figure. It should be a good one. I don't believe they had any. They should have had more forums for the city council. I was talking, Ian Tompkins is in the mix. He's a progressive candidate. We'll see if he can get progressives out there to vote. He's a good guy. So maybe he can have great conversations with the voters. He's getting signs out there. He's doing a good job with that. I think he's paying for it with his own. Don't quote me on that. But it's going to be a tight race. And there's a lot of conflict over the city council. A lot of people are happy with the city council and sticking up to the mayor. Some people aren't. Some people think the city council is full of obstructionists. I think it's the latter. Some of them can be obstructionists. And like sometimes I just say, why can't we all get along? And sometimes we have an administration that proposes bunch of things that should not be proposed, which I'll get into, and the city council is doing its job by managing our city. The mayor's election. The third place candidate, Richard Cabaceres, got a lot of votes for third place. It was really a 3-person race. If you get over 1,000, it's really a 3-person race. I mean, you're really a major candidate. He didn't raise enough money. It all comes down to money in the city, sadly. I think that was one of the main reasons why he didn't place well. Maybe people thought since he was a first-time city councilor, he didn't have enough experience, and we already have. And many people believe the mayor didn't have enough experience when he ran, so why would they vote for Richard over the mayor? So that's people who went to Linda Pereira, because Linda Pereira has a lot of experience, like, with the city, and she's been there for 16 years. A funny thing that happened during the last mayoral debate was, I thought it was hysterical. The mayor went rambling on about these papers about something she voted on. Like, it was the first time I ever seen him excited. And it actually was kind of cringy, but he seemed very excited. And then Miss Pereira said, 16 years and that's all you can get on me. I'm quoting her. 16 years and that's all you can get on me. I got more than you, then listen to. Oh gosh, that was a highlight. In that debate, Richard stood out of the fray, which was good for him. I think that helped him out. I think that gave him maybe a couple hundred votes, tens of votes, because people love positivity. And I think in the next few years, there's going to be a more shift to a more positive image in the city back when Will Flanagan was the mayor. Say what you want, but he was a positive guy. Speaking of which, I was interviewed by my uncle yesterday on WSAR, and he interviewed the mayor. Oh, it was the this episode is going to be election breakdown and a breakdown on the issues. But yeah, he interviewed me and I gave my piece, and then he interviewed Miss Pereira. I don't know if he interviewed Richard. I would have to ask him. I'll ask him. But then my uncle went to the mayor's fundraiser, and it was actually very hysterical watching. I have the picture right here on my phone. The mayor gave my uncle a tight hug and kissed him on the shoulder. I'm not making this up. Now, I have a question for the viewers. If someone intimidated you with a gun, would you, a few years later, go up to them, "Hi, how are you?" Big hug and a kiss? I should ask a psychologist that question. That didn't make any sense to me, and I was mind-boggled. I was mind-boggled by that. And I'd just like to break the news. As everyone knows, Jaziel Correa confirmed he is under FBI and HUD investigation with the grand jury impaneled. The mayor of the city of Fall River is Jaziel Correa II, is under FBI investigation. I thought, and this is going to be on Facebook. Please leave your thoughts in the comments on what you think about the mayor being under FBI investigation, as he said. It's really a shame that we come this low as a city. Like, we need to go to a higher standard as a city, because this is unacceptable. A mayor under FBI investigation for running running a company wrong. This man went on campaigning saying he was a good businessman, and then now he said he admitted he made mistakes. Like, that's just, like, why even run that you're a businessman? How could someone do, like, it's just gets me a little upset, honestly. The negativity that comes from that campaign. And I would just like to go on the record with the story of what happened at the last debate. And I'm only going to share the story. I shared it on Facebook, but I want to share it again because I just want everyone to take a lesson. This is how low our city has come to, and I want to get people. And that's one of my new missions for this show, to get positivity back into the city and a good message for our city, so the outside world looks at it with respect, because I don't believe they respect this administration at all. Well, here it goes. It was last Thursday, I was at the debate. I was at Morton Middle School, and if you know where Morton Middle School is, there's section here, 3 sections, section here, a section here, a section here. It's divided into 3 rows there, and there's back there, but still into 3. And I was all the way on that side. The Linda Prairie people, the supporters, and the Jaziel Correa supporters really sat in the middle. It was in the left. We're all the Cabaceres people. I can say this now because he's not a candidate. We were on our own side alone, really. And after the debate, there was it was clogged. Like, the exits were clogged. So we decided just to wait until people cleared up, then we could high five Richard. I said good job to Miss Pereira. And then the Jaziel Correa, his family and his supporters came walking over. And my first thoughts, I wanted to actually congratulate him, even though we may not agree all the time. It's out of respect for the office of the mayor, and out of respect for him, because that's just the way I am. I would shake anyone's hand. I I did at the last debate, even candidates I didn't support. It's just the way I am. I've always done it. When my uncle ran with Mrs. Kathy Ann Viveris, I shook her hand. It's just like, why get negative over politics? Like, I'm very passionate and I fight for what's right, but why would you get negative and like call out people for nothing? But yeah, and back to my story. The mayor came walking over with his family and supporters, and all of a sudden I heard other words exchanged. I heard someone say, "Excuse me," from the mayor's side, and I didn't say anything at first. I didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden, the mayor's father came walk up to me and called me an idiot. And I said, "Excuse me, sir?" Like, I was like shocked why he would do that. I mean, I think he must have assumed I did not say anything to him to provoke him at all. I would never do that. He must have assumed I did, but yeah, that's just, I'm bringing the story up just to tell the viewers at home that this is how low our city has come to, that families of opposing political candidates are fighting with each other. We should unite as a city. And I would just like to say to Senior Mr. Correa, I'm sorry if you thought I said anything wrong. And I think we should all move forward as a city in a positive direction and just talk about the issues that are at hand. We can be passionate and we can criticize candidates, but we should not criticize private citizens or whatnot. We should stick to the facts and the truth. And after Richard lost, maybe I thought to myself, maybe I was going down a negative path, but then I kind of snapped out of it. I believe, and I really want to fight for a more positive city. I mean, again, we can disagree. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing or thinking a candidate's not right for the job. That's okay. I'm not saying that, but we should find a middle ground. And speaking of the issues, I just want to talk about some of the issues that will be brought up at the next debates and being brought up at the city council forums and mayoral debates, even the school committee debates. First one I will bring up is the opioid. Last episode I was with Mr. Jordan Sylvia. I couldn't even say the word. Oh my gosh. That's going to be a major topic. I think the candidates need to bring a good plan to the table. I really like, a lot of candidates are bringing a two-pronged approach. We should focus on a two-pronged approach, whether that could be anything. With police and counseling, Mr. Cabesteri, it's one of the best ideas why I supported him, one of the best ideas that he brought out that I'm going to be using myself because it's a great idea and we need to help our city. Is we need to get all the gateway cities into a room, delegates, people from the states, public officials from the states, into one room and just talk. We can help each other out. Maybe some ideas that other cities have will work with us. I believe this issue can be stopped and can be tackled. It can happen. Nothing will ever be perfect, but it can be stopped. We need great education and great policing and strict laws on drug dealers. We have the FBI investigating possibly the Correa administration, Jesus Correa. The mayor just has to be truthful. Like, he switched on back and forth whether he was under investigation or he wasn't. The Herald News interviewed him. They said he was. Then he said he wasn't. Then he retracted that. Then he went to NBC 10 and said he's not under investigation. Just be honest. If you made a mistake when you're 19 years old, just let us know. So people make mistakes. People make mistakes. Like, if you were more honest, I don't think the people who care about the FBI issue won't be as mad. I wouldn't be as mad if he just told us straight out he made a mistake when he was 19, as what he said. He said he has made a financial mistake. If that's the case, I'm gonna believe the mayor on this one, unless proof comes out otherwise. Then I'll be very mad. But if he made a financial mistake, if he misused money by mistake, then hey, you're 19. You matured since then. If you kept money and were a fraud, then people might be calling for your resignation. But I hope it doesn't have to come to that. I'm gonna believe you on this one. But there's gonna be plenty of issues coming. The purple bags, liquor licenses, privatization, public safety, funding for police and fire. I will bring up these issues in the future episodes, but I believe this is all the time we have for today. I will see you next week, everyone, and have a great night, everyone.